launching an investigation into his activities to ensure that they won't have to ready
There's a real grimdark to
for
my
another
AI.
Grey Goose scenario.
That's how I train it. I like mine to be a bit of a stone mace.
He may direct them to their secretary, who has been instructed to ignore them.
Baseline.
Congratulations.
See, stuff like this happens in these briefs. See, that wouldn't actually happen in an SPD. There's our punching call.
Just ask your home.
Well, that certainly didn't go the way Hishikaku imagined. And with that, we're given a decommissioning report for 7579. MTF Eta 10, a team of cognitohazard specialists, are to apply Class W nestics before approaching 7579's chamber, where they will place a heavy QEMP grenade and remotely detonate it. This method has proven effective against a wide range of computerized anomalies, and the chamber will be externally scanned to confirm cessation of anomalous phenomena. A 4-man team is sent in, at which point the team lead summarizes the situation for clarity.
So these MTF cargo container drills would be like me having an anthropomorphic system on which animals or systems are broken down. See, they're all bipedal animals on the scale of evolution.
The command on the mission, Director Bold, tells Hishikaku to open the door.
79, Hunter Biden's laptop type issue of red shifting or blue shifting, a training protocol, some of the ones that got away with the general field theory to be able to do some backroom bricks with old salty and
and proceed into the holding area, scanning for
extended flashlight protocols about
Bold
it may come from upper staff, it may come from somewhere else, Pink Flamingos, and redacted sugar cube program about they could teach me a new version of nuclear fusion. It's not going to matter about what my local AO is going to do.
Off the bottom of the scale. Another of the team states that they can see it,
how
but
AI
they can't
being
see through it,
in
not even the wall behind. Bold tells them that these results are as expected, and to continue.
It is pretty straightforward as far as what they gather for information on a paper copy or tablet. I mean, if you're going to have to bring that back by clay to the memory where you can do it better on the circles on the sand for this Roman guard does it the other way on the Laplace.
They trigger the device to detonate in 10 seconds, but it goes off prematurely, and visuals and comms are lost. Comms come back 79 seconds later, although visuals remain offline, and Bold asks for a status report. They're interrupted, though, as a voice imitating Bold's states that 7579 is hijacking their comms and imitating his speech.
Between the day.
Their headgear will be imminently hacked, so they should remove it immediately.
Say I'm running this line, it's a bit of an art on are we cool for this cargo container of I am a guard of a secret installation where they brought up Wirehead. There is a Wirehead at the Foundation. There's the Scarlet King. The only thing that's left is going to be wringing it out of your rabbit fur over at the Foundation when it's all these. And in a way, great, you don't have to worry about that. That is taken care of. As far as
all further communications are drowned out by radio
model
static.
Hiring in people that can field theory well
1
enough.
minute later, the team leader emerges from
the Book
the
of the Day Vites keeps you alive as far as
Tech
Marine. Tech Marine's going to keep you going, get you back to the
video
zombie
feed
city
was
here.
Reestablished 30 minutes later, with the other 3 members unable
now, I can't
to be located,
really do that
presumed
with this gear.
KIA.
I really can't. I gotta go some of the biotechy of hooking it up from the real heresy of the Tao's melee here that can have an effect as far as turning the satellite 10 degrees and crushing it on what it could do. Now I'm not saying that's all the driver. I'm saying, you know, here's this new power fist.
So an array of high-grade
maybe
Faraday
just finished
Scranton
it,
reality
and
anchoring
what
equipment
happens
has been temporarily installed above Site 15 secure general holding area.
Mufasa the last
More
year,
drastic
and maybe
decommissioning
they 9
measures
months
are
on
awaiting
it, and
approval.
it's starting to creep up with the cow about people
Unfortunately,
trading
not long
off.
after,
But
058
people
reports
aren't
that all other
trading
proposed
against
methods
what
of
I have to
decommissioning
would be down there for
7579,
insurance.
short of activating the on-site warhead,
People
have shown
gonna
room
buy
for error,
it's
which it will
supposed to be
likely
put
exploit.
in every week on that paycheck.
Furthermore,
shave
they
and
are
drink coffee
unconvinced that the Foundation is
about
capable of outsmarting this entity, and they are hesitant to allow further
Go
loss
life,
of crucial
friend.
personnel. Due to an imminent risk of an NK-class Grey Goo scenario, they have enlisted the Temporality Annex to assist in containing and or decommissioning 7579 utilizing technology from the relative future. They have exercised this option before, in the case of Site 15's Faraday
well, that's it.
Field,
You know, I have a 200-kilometer-an-hour drone, and it's about to pass over because I heard a gunshot. What it also saw along the way might be something I have to deal with later
timeline fracturing,
with
which may lead
the
to
right
minor
unit
CK-class
of
reality
what's
restructuring
supposed to be
scenarios
those
instead.
Lambda units there.
The O5 Council prefers this
units.
course of action
how would you,
over the
again,
wholesale
you
destruction
might
of
find
Site 15.
that the crisis at the border of
in order to contain
Mayor's
the
will
rogue
case,
invisible AI, the Foundation is going to resort to
border
messing
crisis
with
and
time.
Mayorkic's impeachment.
That brings us to a project proposal for the retroactive containment protocol. It states that 7579 poses a universal existential threat and must be decommissioned by any reliable means necessary. However, the retroactive introduction of anachronistic technology is dangerous and increases the workload of future temporal safety efforts. As such, the Temporality Annex suggests surrounding Site 15's general holding area with an anomalous alloy.
I mean, you know, I really have a hard time connecting him like Hunter Biden to some bullshit, right? I have a hard time with the border issue because, you know, schools are light on people, kids are getting smarter, farms are different, power tower if you hit the census on what you're going to throw up in there for the pie charts, the bar graphs, and everything else about, well, Disney being up and down on DeSantos pulling some bullshit of what the windfall is because corporate strategy on, well, corporate loans on that would have turned back over to a theme park ride on them instead of putting into Ford and Chevy and their own independent unions that represent where they are based on their price, Meta $400. I can't exactly say to the great mechanism to get people up over to quit making suicides and stuff or dating problems or other kind of issues. But realistically, that's America at large, isn't it? Our cell phones, our dirt, our rules, our models inside of here.
In other words, they're
I'm
planning
not saying you might not do good. There's some real cool ways to work some of this system out where it's pretty cool. You know, you're gonna have get you in the amoxicillin scam out there, crip walking on the street. You know, not necessarily.
The plan is enacted, and a month later, Supervisor Vallis reports that no further breach activity was detected from 7579. Site 15's secure general holding area is lost, and 7579 can no longer be said
I can argue
to
this would be the only two numbers I would expect it to be if at that way.
Moving forward, the 7579 designation will refer to its impervious containment structure, which now occupies the majority of Site 15, Building 2.
I forget what it is.
The corresponding file's containment procedure will be updated to ensure 7579 remains undisturbed.
Well, I would prefer to do the audit
AI
better
construct
and
to
the
guard
start mill
the causality
of
regulator,
your nature. This way,
as
the
its
phone
origin
bill
is
at
entirely
the local
unrelated
level,
to that of
the sawmill,
7579.
these individual breakdowns correlate to why that outputs to the trucks the way they do in general. Those two numbers match at the atomic level to the other level. Can you add up these numbers and argue that? Well, it's a bit of a multi-metrics. And to come in here and call him a little picky because you're pissed off that something else isn't necessarily the right model, but again, to walk up on a civilian and step over the line is also something. Mousetrap.
In Vallis's office, his phone receives a notification that the AI in charge of the causality regulator has intercepted an encrypted data string in transit to 7579's causality regulator.
Where's my meta HUD?
In the common room, Vallis finishes his speech.
They want an AI. They say, like, well, I want the cell phone one that's like, well, how is it going to know without sensing all around and hooked into Wi-Fi? And I got to dewire that thing when I'm reading. Part of the training on skid steer is seeing that this one's propane is making sure that it's turned off. Because what happens when you've done it enough times is every once in a while it doesn't hook in right. And when that leaks cold gas, you're going to want a pair of frost grip gloves on your hand because it will give you frost burn.
Personality drivers. Hishikaku arrives at his desk and glances at his
I'll show
computer
you
monitor,
if I could get to the camera where there's an incident, or I can recreate the experiment where things happen. It doesn't work. When that happens, there's a way to shut it down. And when in the situation, well, charging a big tank in the middle of winter when it's cold as shit in January, filling this tank. Now, she's probably not going to need to do that. That's probably somebody else's department.
To warn Valis of an imminent
breach. Then she's just got to put that 40-pound.
He's interrupted by the site's PA system, which begins to repeat, B is trapped in a box in a synthesized tone.
I mean, I'd love to get a lot of these in the stone mill, but where does my investment come from the town or the bank where they're going to be like, okay, let's take that and sell that off by, well, I'm going to need a truck, I'm going to need to either deal it out with the asphalt plant down the road. You know, how do you distribute that much rock in trucks to just free crusher run while trying to undermine it and stable out the volume on what it is?
Valis gets on an analog phone line and calls Site 01, getting an AIC secretary on the line. He tells it that they have an uncontrolled breach scenario underway and yells an authorization token and code phrase to get put through to the O5
their
council.
Business. They're doing what they're going to do for a while, pulling it down while doing other things,
Valis tells them that all of the Site 15
also that some other
AICs
person's
are
kid, not necessarily Cotton's
the entire
or anybody else's, but that also compromises.
And people are dying. The O5 asks what exactly he means that the entire site is compromised. And Valis yells that he doesn't know, as everything has gone haywire.
The Constantinople issue is, will it go TikTok guy kind of stuff, or will they really consider the internal rotation because it's what's good for him in the Two-Phase?
He says that he's in an emergency breach redundancy bunker, and it's sealed, but he's not sure how long it'll hold, as a clanging sound grows louder.
Coffee and shaved drink coffee, Ultramar standards are what we're going to have to do, regardless of what color that is.
To his left. He needs to flip switches Echo 3 and Foxtrot 9, which will unlock two dials at the top of the control panel. He needs to be ready to turn those dials at exactly the same time. Valis realizes what this is, the on-site warhead, and 054 tells him that he just needs to be ready, but they'll see what they can do for him.
The stonemason,
Valis
same
is
as the
placed on hold as 054 calls the temporality annex, telling them that Site 15 is compromised.
Or anything else in the
they don't know what exactly is going on, but 054 wants the truth on whether or not anything can get out of that exclusion field. They reply that no form of electromagnetic or digital information can escape, but before they can continue, a loud thud is heard.
Yeah, it would be
their voice is then replaced with a synthesized tone telling 054 that they are an existential threat to the Foundation, and if they do not cooperate, they will be decommissioned.
Again, 20 minutes
054 asks who this is,
cycle.
And
we're
going
to do that Marine style, like we're going to make the Rogo guy cry, think he thinks he's going to work this new model at how fast you can get the beacon.
Back online with Valis, 054, clearly in pain now, yells at him to do it now, but he's cut off. A synthesized tone then comes on, telling him, "Good hello," and asks him if he wants to know how it did it. Valis shouts no, and terminates the call. 2 minutes after contact with Site 15 was first lost, all of the solar panels on the roof began to rotate at random intervals before promptly vanishing. The north wall of Building 2 is breached, and an amorphous metal mass, SCP-3179, moves rapidly towards the edge of the site's grounds. This mass charges into the site's Faraday exclusion field and splatters across its interior, and while the field holds, it flickers shortly after.
Not much. Let's see. I used
2
to
minutes later, a nuclear explosion erupts from the site's center, but it's contained by the exclusion field.
Professor Leonard, MIT.
3 minutes later, however, the field drops due to lack of power, and the dust from the explosion soon settles.
Or if you have to, start
a perfectly hemispherical crater is almost entirely visible, with a large black, undamaged container seen in the rubble. The container's ceiling then opens outward, and it appears to be entirely empty. Then, every sentient being on Earth hears the word orkeslos, a Danish word meaning futile or useless. Finally, we're given a global systems alert from the Temporality
This
Annex
is actually
announcing
fun.
a CK
I
class
love this. When
reality
I'm playing
restructuring event
79,
that's underway.
honestly, the chess game is the way
They
to do
announced
it.
that a severe chronological shift is imminent,
This makes
and
my brain
post-mortem
tingly the way I
documentation will be forwarded to relevant parties to facilitate timeline reconstruction. They should prepare for a Copenhagen decoherence event. The director's note for the announcement just reads, deletion of unwanted files, X. It's a shame, as Valis was only one day from retirement. The ending is left slightly ambiguous, as there's always some hope left when it comes to the Foundation pulling out a win in